We closed it down, we picked it back up, see if the on the lag is better on the receiving end. So we're waiting for people to rejoin us. Good morning, Billy D. I see you back. Billy D. Good morning. We picked up Laura Devine on the way back in. Jororo. Anthony T, is that better? Holly's saying, man, thank goodness we got to hit that like button. Who would like what we just went through, Niffy? See the best thing about our pals here, our group? Notice how flexible we are? We're a very flexible group. We're not stuck in our ways. And we don't throw fits when things don't go our way. We just figure out another way to do it. Okay? Thank you for coming back. Thank you for coming back, Kimby. Where were we? We're talking about cheaters. The last thing we were talking about. And then Niffy said something that, like, definitely, I definitely heard it. My mom was a cheater. I used to try to stream stuff with my mom. She'd cheat ahead. The worst was when she'd cheat on Jeopardy. She'd watch the whole Jeopardy show and then, you want to come watch Jeopardy with me? She wouldn't even fast forward through the commercials, so I didn't know it wasn't live. She'd sit there and watch the commercial too. We could have fast forwarded through the commercials. No. Oh, who does that? Who acts like it's live? Okay. You want to come and watch Jeopardy? I'm like, sure. And I would still win. Kimberly. No, I would still beat her. Captain Jeff is here. Congratulations. Captain Jeff had a birthday last week. November 1st was his birthday. Captain Jeff turned 50. That's a big deal. So we didn't sing to him because he wasn't here. Boo. Nice to see you, Jay. Gosh, it's cool. I see Higgs this morning and Captain Jeff this morning. Higgs has been working his tail off, you guys. Jeff, you don't look 50. You look phenomenal for 50. Honestly, the last time I saw you, he had cut out a couple of the things that he didn't want to keep doing. I don't call them vices because they're just because I do them. No. He looks great. Okay. Captain Phillips, that's a totally different show, Mr. Phillips. Captain Jeff, 50 years old. And then Higgs. Higgs sent me a picture yesterday. They're doing a remodel addition on his house. Higgs, I don't know how you want to do that at your age. Jeff, you're missed here too. Higgs, how do you do that at your age? Jeez. I'm not out in my backyard digging trenches for footings. I'm not. Higgs is looking good. Higgs is killing the game out there. Higgs, have you ever cheated on streaming? Have you ever cheated on streaming? Mom's isn't here, so you don't have to tell her. Anybody have a, what do they call it? Do you know anybody that has a resting bitch face? First time I heard that, I thought, wait a minute, that's very descriptive. I don't know if I would use that. I don't know if I would tell somebody that they have one. But I think I know a couple of ladies that do. Okay? No, you don't, Vegas. That's not true. And stop it with the wife jokes. This isn't a time to do wife jokes. Holly, I don't believe you. Okay? Penny's like, it would be me, Pops, but that's why I smile. Why would we say such a rude thing? Resting bitch face. God. Karen? Did everybody named Karen change their name? Okay. Harvey, oh yeah, I know it very well. Resting bitch face. The Chinese, no. The South Koreans figured it out. The South Koreans got it figured out, Penny. You and I, let's head to South Korea. Grab a couple of those other RBFs with you. Let's go. Mr. Phillips. Let's go. Let's head on over. In South Korea, there is a plastic surgery called, excuse me, smile lipping. Smile lipping, where both corners of your mouth are raised in order to give you a permanent smile. I used to be a resting bitch face. But now I'm resting smile face, fake smile face. What resting grin face? Resting, I got a buzz face. What are you talking about? All right. Humans, what's wrong with us? What are we doing? South Korea. If it caught on in South Korea, okay, that's... You imagine go to the store and there's about 8 ladies walk down the aisle. Oh, jeez. Nobody has a rusty bitch face. Don't say that to people, okay? You don't want to say that. And final thing, one more thing. I have one more to read to you, but I don't know where it is. Rock bands get out of control. Do you agree with me? Corey, rock bands can sometimes be a little out of control. Am I right? Yes, they can. And sometimes they can be rather humorous. Am I right? Yes, they can. How about this? Blink 182. I guess that's a rock band, right? Blink 182 chose this as their corporate name. They chose this as their corporate name because they wanted their accountants and managers to have to say this while doing business. Okay? Their corporate name, hello, sir. I'm doing business. I'm representing Pennywise Poo Poo Butt Incorporated. I want to every time they're having a conversation, who do you represent? Oh, I represent Pennywise Poo Poo Butt Incorporated. Okay, what? Why with the page? Are they that funny? That's great. That's great. If you heard somebody say that, you wouldn't even need a smile lip anymore. You wouldn't, or what do they call it? A smile lip. You don't have to do a smile lip. I'd crack up right then and there. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be doing it's a high-class operation, Billy D. Yep, I want to represent them. Tomorrow, oh, gosh. There's so many of these funny things we could read them all morning long. Let's do this instead. Let's do this. Let's do this. True, false. Here we go. True, false. I'm going to read 3 statements to you. 3. You're going to hold your powder until all 3 have been said, and then you're going to tell me if they're true or they're false all at one time. The first 3 people to get it correct on my screen will move forward to the spin to win round. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Here we go. Mount Everest. Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world. True or false? You can find the desert of death in California. True or false? The total length of the Great Wall of China adds up to 13,171 miles. True or false? Go. Give me your answers. Okay, there's my first three. I have three people that had the correct three answers. I'm going to read the answers to you, and then I'm going to tell you who those three people were. The three answers. The first one, Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world. True. This is true. It reaches an elevation of 29,032 feet. You can find the desert of death in California. Tricky. No. You find that in Afghanistan. Afghanistan. In California, it's called Death Valley. Okay. And the third one, the total length of the Great Wall of China adds up to 13,171 miles. True. And that happens to be about the distance of half the length of the equator. If you took the Great Wall of China and stretched it out, and half the length of the equator. So the answers were T, F, T. My first correcto was King Metroplex. King Metroplex. You're number one. Let's see, Mr. Phillips. Mr. Phillips, you're number two. Mr. Phillips, you're going number two. And Sharon M. Sharon M., you're number three. Those were my first three to get it correct on my screen. All three. Okay? We're talking Sharon M. We're talking Sharon M. Sharon, I'd like to share something with you. Get it? Excuse me, Sharon. Excuse me. I apologize. Sharon, if you could please get me your address, we'd like to share something with you. So send me your address to the DetroitMushLab.net, and we will share something with you. Yesterday, 4-Leaf won here, and 4-Leaf redonated it. And we'll be reaching out to the person who redonated it to. Derek Anderson, I still need an address from you. I lost yours. And you won yesterday. I need an address from you. Okay? We'll do another true false here in a few minutes. But let's do something else. For the next 2 days, today and tomorrow, we're going to be reading, pretty specifically reading. Here we go. Who think women are undervalued in history? Who thinks because up until the 20th century, men wrote everything, all the history. Who thinks women got left out of the story? Who thinks that women, seriously, they got left out of the story? Either that or actually some of their work, other people took it and took credit for it. Is that true? I don't think that that's cool at all. I don't dig it at all. And there's, what's really interesting is a program like ours right here, Tea with Pops. We have one of the highest women participated ratings of one of these type of live streams. Speaking about mycology, it is heavily male numbers in percentage. And we have this a unique little spot, a great slice of women subscribers. And then you can see here in the morning how many of us are hanging out together in the mornings. And I love that. It's so important. That we don't, I don't need to be, I don't need to be in a male dominated, male only anything. I don't believe in that. And then most of you know I had such an amazing mother and such an amazing relationship with her. And I watched her. What a smart, incredibly courageous woman. And she was my hero, along with my dad. And I look around, and we should make more heroes out of our women. And we forget how much women shaped mycology. We forget that. We only hear and relate to the man part of it. So for the next 2 days, I'm going to be talking about women in mycology. And I like that, Arthur G. I think a little bit of thank you to women. I mean, obviously, we wouldn't be here without them. But what an extra special touch when you meet people like Niffer and Kim and Penny and lots of you other beautiful women in person. What a beautiful touch you people have. And it fills out the group. And then some of the smartest ones here. We got our Paige. I don't know if anybody here is smarter than Paige. So don't tell me that women are amazing. And women were amazing in helping shape mycology. The study of mycology first formed in the wombs of women. I'm on page 82 in the Radical Mycology. I like that RX. Shout them out. Okay? The study of mycology, page 82 in Radical Mycology. Though the knowledge was shared with every child as they matured, it was often the woman of history who carried on the responsibility of harvesting wild fungi to feed and heal their families. Women. The men, I'm sorry, we weren't doing that. We killed a deer, we sat in the teepee, and we smoked our peace pipe. You know, we're not going to go kill another deer till the lady tells us, you better go kill another deer. I'm out of potatoes. You better go. We're saving up potatoes for winter. Go do something. Seriously. Most relationships, if it weren't for the women kicking us out of the tent, we'd just be hanging around in the tent watching TV. They're all stressed out. They're like, do you understand we don't have any potatoes? Okay. EMT, that's beautiful. We would just be laying around. I'm telling you, Michael, I know I would. Okay? I would. And I'm talking historically. Just thank gosh. And all we have to do is go out and kill something, hang out with our pals. Meanwhile, they're raising kids. They have one on their hip. They're cleaning clothes in the stream. They're drying buffalo skins. They're gathering wood. They're putting potatoes away. And they're harvesting fungi. By practicing and maintaining these skills throughout many generations, women around the world possess the richest and most comprehensive understandings of the taxonomy, biology, and ecology of the local fungi diversity. They were the ones that knew what kind of a mushroom it was that's in the forest. They were the ones. Women were the original and primary ambassadors to the world of fungi. What a beautiful statement. I'm not blowing smoke up anybody. This is real. And we don't give it the credit it deserves. Women were the original and primary ambassadors to the world of fungi. Wow. It is only in the last few centuries that the study of fungi has become dominated by men. The founder of modern mycology, Carolus Clusius, 1609 he died, and Franciscus van Stierbeck, 1693 he died, were perhaps the first instigators of the shift from women being our fungi farmers and knowledge, and men. So we're talking late 1600s. Give me 1 second. Ruff, stop it. Come here. Come here. Good boy. Sorry about that. He's over there scratching at something. Okay. It is only in the last few centuries. Their knowledge did not come from personal experience, these men. What they did, most of their research came from conversations with folk women in the marketplaces of Eastern and Central Europe. Here, these authors would talk with these women knowledge keepers directly in an effort to gather traditional mycological information, and then they would rebrand it as their own work. So I'm going to write a book about mushrooms. So I go down to the marketplace and I interview the mushroom lady down at the marketplace, get all the information out of her I can. I write it all down and I act like I did all the research. I know everything about mushrooms. Doesn't sound unusual. The famous biologist Carl Linnaeus was also known to learn about fungi and plants directly from the herb wives and medicine women of the marketplace. Linnaeus, the one we think so highly of, Linnaeus, most of his information, Sam, that's right, where it came from plagiarism. They didn't credit the work. They didn't say, Molly the mushroom lady told me, and give her credit in the book. Many studies outlined in detail by Frank Dugan in his book indicate that these men were just a few of the many seekers who sought mycological and more broadly botanical and medicinal knowledge from women. Dugan writes this: recognition of such interactions between famous, always male pioneers in science and layfolk reflect the rather recent tendency for historians of science to credit the achievements of peasant farmers and working people for laying the foundations in science. We're finally starting to recognize that the foundations were the working people, the farmers, the alewives, the herb wives, the medicine women. During the European Renaissance, which is the 14th to the 17th century, the scientific library continued to add information gathered from women knowledge keepers. I love that term, women knowledge keepers. In these works, the culinary benefits of fungi were often emphasized, as were their medicinal applications. Simultaneously, the practice of medicine throughout Europe was shifting from its traditional roots, the holistic home farm roots, to an official state-recognized profession. Welcome to doctors. Welcome to you have to go to college and get a degree. This shift began as a prohibition against unauthorized practice of medicine. They used the idea that you don't know what you're doing at home, and it's unauthorized use of medicine, but we up here in the ivory tower of the universities, we've studied it, but we forgot to tell you we studied it from information you guys gave us in the first place. What? And now you have to have a license to dispense that. It's unauthorized. You can't do that. Only we can do it. Okay. In time, women who chose to continued to treat patients in traditional ways were labeled as witches. Here we go. You're going to continue to do it? Well, you must be a witch. For example, witches, and accused of placing curses on people. For some reason, these women were commonly associated with mushrooms, a link that was frequently perpetuated through folklore. For example, Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga was a female witch who, in the Baltic and Slavic contexts, was always connected with mushrooms. Masked as cleansing evil spirits, the witch hunts that plagued Europe and parts of North America in the 15th through 17th century not only displaced women from their traditional roles, but slaughtered them en masse. Current estimates counting the death tens of thousands of women throughout Europe. We only think of the Salem witch trials. Tens of thousands of women across Europe in those 2 centuries slaughtered. As these women were lost, so too fell an immeasurable amount of undocumented fungal and botanical knowledge. Right, EMT? Boop. Off with their head, off with all that knowledge. A century after the end of the witch hunts, women were still not allowed to formally enter scientific fields, including that of mycology. A century later, still can't play. We took it away from you guys. We know it all. How much knowledge got lost in now that time? They're just holding on to the knowledge that they got back in the marketplace 2 centuries earlier. Wow. One famous account is of Beatrix Potter. We know this. The author of the children's book, Peter Rabbit. Before becoming an author, she became an author because they wouldn't listen to her. So she decided, okay, we'll go in this direction. Potter was known for her deep love of fungi. Early in her life, Potter created many beautiful and accurate mushroom monographs, sketches, colored sketches, that are still used today to help with people identifying species. She also wrote a paper called The Germination of the Spores of the Agaricensi, which she submitted to the Linnaean Society in 1897. However, as a female, 1897, that isn't that long ago. 1897, she submits a paper. She knows more about it than anybody. She submits her paper to the Linnaean Society, and they're like, well, a woman wrote it? Nah. As a female, the society did not allow her to present her paper, so she had to have it presented by a man. Recently, Potter's paper has been reevaluated and considered incredibly important for its historical value. We'll cover a couple more of these things tomorrow, pick up the rest of this idea about women in mycology. I just want to celebrate women in mycology. I want to celebrate women in general, but based off of our context here, thank you, women in history. Thank you, women today, for doing what you're doing. Thanks for holding us together. There's a lot of, a lot of good stuff. So we'll cover some more. We're going to talk about specific women in mycology history, and it's pretty much late 19th century through the 20th century, and it'll get us current here, because for those 4 or 5 centuries, they had cut them out and burned them up. Okay? Nipper, let's be proud. I'm proud of you too. Look at you. Women make amazing scientists and physics professors. Okay, let's do a reading or two. Yeah? Let's do a reading or two. No, let's do one more. Let's do one more true or false. And then we're going to do a reading or two. And I want to tease you guys with a little something. We picked up an ancient artifact. Tea with Pops, our group. We picked up an ancient artifacts, Jim Sparks. And you're not going to believe what it is. Is it an ancient artifact if it's coming from the 80s? Can we still call that ancient? Can we still consider something ancient? Well, you guys will decide when we show you the artifact. Okay? But what's it take to be an antique? Something like it has to be over 50 years old? There's like a classification. What's ancient? I don't know. But I'm going to show you guys an ancient artifact. Okay? But in the meantime, true or false? Cars from the 80s are antique? Okay. Okay, over 100 years is antique. Okay, 20 is vintage. See, I don't know the classification. I don't even know what a Generation X is or a Generation Y. What are any of us? I don't know. I just know I'm a baby boomer. I got stuck in the baby boom and I never got out. So I don't know what the rest of I don't know. I don't understand that stuff. I don't know where it breaks off and very confusing. Okay? You're Gen X. I don't know. Is there a Gen Y? Is there a Gen Y? I don't really know. What are the other ones? Look at all you Gen X's. Millennials. There's millennials. That's another one. What are they? It keeps changing. Penny, I get confused. I think I'll never really get it. Catzilla, I'm in the boom. I'm a boomer. Okay? After baby boom is Gen X. That's the next one. What's after Gen X, Corey? What's after Gen X? Help me out here real quick. I don't know why I'm on a tangent all of a sudden. Okay? No, Penny, I'm a boomer. I think up until 64 or something like that, you're a boomer. You're a Gen X, then a millennial, and then a Gen Y, and then a Z. No, Gen Y is a millennial. Okay, Gen Y is a millennial, and then a Z. Could you see where I'd be confused? You guys can understand. And now we have a Gen Alpha. You guys can see I'm a little confused. Most of us are actually confused. There's 3 people here that aren't confused right now. Okay? Maybe it doesn't matter. What did you say, Pops? Oh, what did you say? It doesn't matter? No, it doesn't matter. Okay. I'm confused, so I'm moving on. Let's do 3. I'm going to do 3 true or false Z's. Okay? And you're going to, let's see. Wait. Okay, you guys ready? These are going to be easy. These are easy. This is the easy end of the question scale. All right? Here we go. First statement. New York City. New York City is composed of between 36 and 42 islands. True or false? South Africa has 1 capital. True or false? The Atlantic Ocean is the biggest ocean on Earth. True or false? Go. What are your answers? What are your 3 answers? Okay, I have my three. I have my three. I'm going to read the answers to you, and then I'm going to tell you which three of you got it correct and put you in the spin to win round. The first one, New York is composed of between 36 and 42 islands. This is true. Even though there are three main islands, Manhattan, Staten, and Long Island, it also has a number of smaller islands within each borough. Heck of a lot of islands, New York. So that's true. South Africa has one capital. False. False. This is one of those weird countries that has three capitals. Huh? It has Pretoria, Cape Town, and Bloemfontein. Bloemfontein. Three capitals. So, third, the Atlantic Ocean is the biggest ocean on Earth. Falsy McFalserton. The Pacific Ocean is by far the largest ocean on Earth. So the answers were T, F, F. Okay? TFF. The first TFF on my screen was EMT. EMT Green, you're a number one. EMT. Melissa G, you're number two. Melissa G. And then number three, Kimberly the Golden Bolden. Kimberly the Golden Bolden, right there, number three. Okay? Why, Kimberly, the Golden Bolden. Kimberly, all the way in Texas. Kimberly knows stuff. Kimberly knows stuff. Kim, I think I have your address. I'll be happy to send that off to you, dear. Okay? Good stuff. Thank you for playing my games with me. I love playing. I like to play. I don't know about you guys, but I like to play. Don't forget, we have an artifact to show you guys soon. Okay? Sharon M., I'm going to need it again. Why do I need Sharon M.'s address? Oh, from yesterday, or from today. Sharon M., send it to me again. Oftentimes, I don't keep people's addresses. And then some, Kim I've known for 4 years. Okay? Sharon M., please send me your address again. Everybody just assume I don't have your address unless I say I have your address. Okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you guys remember me telling you? Yeah, Kimberly, that's correct. I delete for everyone's safety. Do you guys remember me telling you that as a young kid, I wanted to be, I wanted to be the middle linebacker of the Los Angeles Rams. I wanted to be. And then, I played middle linebacker for a little while, but I was way too small. I moved to defensive back. You guys remember John Elway? Do you guys remember John Elway? He played at Granada Hills High School. He was 2 years younger than 2 years back from me. So when I was a senior, he was a sophomore. Well, the kid was a man. You just looked at him. He was, in 10th grade, he was a man. Big, huge. He was a great pitcher. He could throw the ball through, he was throwing 90-mile-an-hour fastballs at 16 years old. And then he played quarterback for the Granada Hills Highlanders. That's what the name of their school was. Yep. Then he went on to Stanford. His dad was his coach in high school. And then he went on to be an assistant coach at Stanford. Anyways, Elway. One of the greatest. My claim to athletic fame in high school was John Elway dropped a bomb on Pops. Okay. He was actually really a nice guy in person, even at least in 10th grade. He wasn't a big shot across but he dropped a bomb on me. They had some amazing receivers. Anyways, I got torched by John Elway. That's my claim to fame. What was your athletic career? Well, I got torched by John Elway. I wasn't that good of a football player. I was a really, really, really good rugby player. Good enough to make the United States Marine Corps rugby team. Not good enough to start, but I was good enough. I defined myself by these roles. They were my image. They were my image. Very often, well, let's say this. Dreams are candles to help us through the dark. Once we've used them, they melt. Whoa. Our dreams are our candles. They're really not the end result. My dream of being a ram, that was just a candle. My dream of being able to intercept John Elway, just a candle. My dream of having a career as a rugby player, it was a candle. Once I used them, they had to melt. But I didn't know they were candles at the time. They were the end all be all. What if I knew then that they were just a candle? Oh, that's cool, Herbs. Very often, we define ourselves by what we want or dream of. I want to be an actor or a musician or a president or a grandmother or a middle linebacker. I dream of being famous, of going down in history, of being a hero or a heroine. We've all done that. It's normal. Yet when our lives shape up differently, we often think we failed. That dream didn't come true, you failed. I'm not a middle linebacker, you failed. Because we weren't good enough. We feel like we weren't good enough. We failed. Guys like me, you know what I started doing? Because I didn't know it was a candle. You know what I started doing? Self-medicating. I didn't tell anybody I'm hurting inside. I just decided I could fix it this way. And then I started being something that I wasn't, so you would like me more. I even stopped dreaming. For a good 10-year period, I stopped dreaming. I just was using. Because I wasn't good enough. That's good, Kim. That happens too. Certainly as we experience our limitations, this sometimes feels true that we're not good enough. Yet even through our limitations, we evolve rather than fail. Through our limitations, we evolve rather than fail. It's a shift of our mind thought. I had a limitation. I evolved, I didn't fail. Just the same way a caterpillar becomes a chrysalis and then becomes a butterfly. The succession of life's trials is precisely the unfolding we need to find our bliss and rightful place in the order of things. We have to go through these stages. We weren't taught that. We were taught you're supposed to be there now. And if you're not, what's wrong with you? The rest of us are there. No, you're not. You're all faking it, just like I am. The truth is that what we want or dream doesn't always last. Sometimes you get the dream and you don't even want it anymore. It tends to serve its purpose in our development, and then it fades away. It loses its relevance. We can do enormous damage to ourselves by holding on to something that has died. Whoo-wee! A 10-year hold on something that had died. I did enormous damage to myself. The thing was dead. That candle had burnt out. And I did enormous damage to myself, to my family. The thing is, not everything we dream works out the way we thought it would, but it is part of the process. As a teenager, I wanted very badly to be a professional basketball player, football player. I didn't fail at becoming a basketball player, football player. I failed because I didn't understand where I was at. Then it wasn't a failure. Then it's evolution. I no more failed in my desire to be a football player than a cocoon fails to be a butterfly. Woo-wee! I no more failed at being a football player than a cocoon fails at being a butterfly. Can you get behind that? Wow. My inwardness evolved with enough life experience that I no longer failed in my desire. Living up to some dream is pressure and stress that we put on ourselves. That dream is just part of the process. That's all it is. And remember, if you're not flying right now, you're still a cocoon. It's okay. Have a good day, Sandy. Give me 5 people that liked what we talked about today. And now I'd like to show you, give me 5 people that could, hey, if you're not flying right now, it's okay to be a cocoon. Our dreams are just part of the process. They're not the end result. The candle melts. You just got to get another candle. It's no big deal. I need to show you guys the artifact. You ready? I have to show you guys the artifact. All right, here we go. Thank you, Viggy. Should I show you the artifact? No, I'm going to just show you. Let me just start from here. There we go.
You have a good day today, friend.
I did. I had a Superman day.
You had a Superman day? Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Spider-Man day.
Good, I'm glad to hear that. Well, you know what? Wait! You know what time it is? It's time for me to see the friends.
Check out these outfits.
Romper bumper, stomper boo, tell me, do. Magic mirror, Tell me today, did all my friends have fun at play? All my friends had fun today. I see David's having a special day today, and Olivia Joy had a special day on Sunday. I see Robin had a special day yesterday, and Dana's having a special day today, and so is Reginald and Edward John and Margaret. And I see Justin and Megan and Courtney and Brick and Mark and Rachel and Sheila and Caroline are all having special days, and Cicely and Ashley and Matthew and Jose, and I see Bonnie and Anthony and Joe had special days yesterday, and so did Tammy and Brandon and Gregory, and of course, friends, you know I see you, and I'll see you again.
That's right, Sue. Bend and stretch, reach for the stars. Oh, stand on tippy toes way up high. Artifact. I'm going to go ahead and scroll you guys out of here. I want you to have a great day. We're going to use the artifact, the Romper Room artifact, to scroll you out of here. Derek Anderson, I need a screenshot. Okay. We've got ourselves an artifact. We put it together. We'll be scrolling people out of here. Okay. We picked one of these up. We consider it a possible antique. All right. Okay. It's my magic wand from my magic kit. And then this is the lid of one of my very favorite mushroom containers. Okay. So I see Justin out there. I see Brian. I see Green Killer. I see Herbie. I see Jesus Christ. I see Higgs. I see Corey and Pennypack and Jolie. I see Jolie. Vegas, I see you out there. Nipper, have an amazing day. I see you. Holly M, I see you. Mike Barball and Deborah Pearl. I see you. Sharon M and Trenty and Marcus Doc Aurelius. Rodman, I can see you. Nerdy, have a happy day out there. Michael Shanti Patterson, Holly M, Sakamoto, RX, Jesus Christ. Who else is on here? Auntie King Metroplex. King, I'm going to open your present tomorrow. Sue Littlemeyer, keep scrolling and rolling. Holly M, Say Tim Ruddy, Catzilla, Sharon, Jesus Christ and Billy D. I see all of you kids. Arthur G and Sam and Nipper Mom and Melissa G and Pacers and Toucan. There he is, Sheffy. And Jesus Christ, all the way in Australia. Mike Baraball and Holly M and Kimberly and JW Owen and Big Al and Holly M and Derek Anderson and Corey D and Rodman and Jimmy Max and Mushmouth Limited, Kingy and Holly M and Laura, have a divine day. And Herbie and Nerdy and Tim Ruddy. Everybody have a great day. See you later. Magic Mirror says see you later. Have a great day.